Right now, Tom Aspinall and a lot of MMA fans are frustrated with the state of the UFC heavyweight division. Many call it the weakest and most uneventful era in its history. Once a division that gave us iconic battles. Today, it feels like the spark is missing. No dream fights, no larger-than-life moments, just a division trying to stay afloat.
I'm so pissed off that you haven't gone to the second round.
Do you know what? Me too. I'm not joking. That's always a backlash I get. Yeah, the biggest disadvantage that Tom's got is he's not had the rounds. Look, I completely agree. But that isn't my fault. That's the fault of my opponents. I'm hitting people and they're going over.
Yeah, exactly. You might go your whole entire career and never seen a second round. If it was so easy, why isn't everybody else doing it?
Yep.
It ain't fucking easy.
Yeah, I don't take it personal, because if everyone could get a 2-minute knockout, they would.
Yeah.
And I'm actually never going in there and being like, I'm going to knock this guy out quick. Every opponent that's said to me, I'm going to drag him into deep water, I've knocked him out in the first minute.
You're like, okay, perfect. Drag me to deep waters. Like, you still got to drag the body out to deep waters. And if you drown on the way out there, that's your fucking bad.
This is the worst UFC heavyweight division since the Stone Age. There is no secret that the UFC heavyweight division at the moment is ass-tastic, which is a shame because we have one of the most exciting heavyweight champions in Tom Aspinall at the top, but it just feels like he doesn't really have any serious challengers ahead of him. I mean, Tai Tuivasa is still ranked at number 10 despite being on a 5-fight losing streak. That goes to show you that the heavyweight division is down bad, and I think it's probably the worst it has been since the UFC heavyweight Stone Age era, which went down between 2005 and 2006, because after the young and exciting heavyweight Frank Mir was stripped of his title due to a motorcycle accident, the heavyweight title bounced back and forth between Tim Sylvia and Andrei Arlovsky for a couple of years, and many regard this period in the heavyweight division as the worst in UFC history. And now I feel like the current heavyweight division is pretty close to that era, but what makes it slightly better is having a champion like Tom Aspinall on top. But what do you think?
Honestly, bro, as you go down the list, yeah, a lot of these guys, Spivak lost recently, Tabora's lost recently, Derek Lewis is on a winning streak, but I think
this division is shit.
It's cooked, bro. It's cooked.
Like,
Teixeira's lost.
Tom Beat's gone. He's cooking for years.
Yeah.
If Tom Beat's gone, like, oh, Almeida's the only maybe other problem.
That's not a problem for Tom.
Nah,
not at all.
Aspinall may hold the belt, but he's already run through most of the top contenders. What's left are fighters low in the rankings or matchups that just don't excite the audience. There's no Ngannou, no Prime Stipe, no Brock Lesnar, no Cain Velasquez spectacle. Instead, we're looking at Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane, a fight that doesn't exactly scream heavyweight classic.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Cyril Gane plus 265.
Tom Aspinall is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What's the first step for him?
You give him the one contender, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
I think you're absolutely right. Fight that makes sense. Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Let's make that happen. Cyril Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Dana was in here and he says you're never too far away from a title shot, right? Just because your name value, the fights you put on and stuff like that. Is that something you would like to start climbing towards? Or are you happy just fighting these young up-and-comers and getting a seemingly easy win?
Seemingly easy win? He was the king of the taxi cab drivers in Brazil, man. Wow. But no, I don't want an easy fighting like that. I want, of course I would like to do one more run at the title. That'd be good.
I think he's awesome, man. I think he's awesome. I think he should go on and have a wonderful career.
Do you think that he needs you?
No, I think he needs me. I think when you want something bad enough, and if you get it, it could be the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
The community agrees that while Aspinall versus Gane is important, it doesn't carry the same energy or danger as the great heavyweight rivalries of the past. To make things spicier, fans claim Gane doesn't deserve the shot, especially since Aspinall accused him of ducking fights and avoiding real challenges before.
Dismissed me on multiple occasions, and I'm not the first guy that he's dismissed. I'm not the first guy that he's ducked.
it's out there for people to see. The reason that I got the Pavlovich fight was because Cyril didn't want it. So he ducked Pavlovich. He then ducked Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades has been on record saying that I asked for him years ago, didn't want it then. I then asked for him in Paris. They flew me over. We tried to make that fight. He didn't want it then. And we'll see what the UFC want to do. I don't know what his aspirations are. He might really want to be an actor. So he's thinking, oh, fuck this MMA stuff. I'm going to go and be the French Arnold Schwarzenegger here. I'm going to crack on with that. So fair play to Cyril, though. Good luck to him. I've got nothing against Cyril. He's had a few opportunities to fight me, and he's turned it down. That's the facts of it. I'm not saying he's ducking me or he's not ducking me. Right now, he's being an actor, and I wish him all the best in that. Like, he didn't put up any resistance in that fight. He lost it really easily. You can't then come back and beat the number 8 or 9 guy and then go straight back to fight John Jones. That's just not how it works, man. You can't be like, oh yeah, I deserve a title shot now. No, you don't. You've had 2 goals. You lost them both.
Well, I am the best heavyweight in the world, but I want to show everyone that I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Cyril Gane's lost 2 title shots, and I want to give him his 3rd and get him out of there.
That's already a sick fight card. Obviously, with Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, Jailton Almeida and Volkov being the co-main event, if they are, just being on the fight card, they're going to be a backup fighter if anything happens to the main event. What's your thoughts on Volkov versus Gane? Sorry, Aspinall versus Gane.
I mean, I think it's the next best thing that we could get right now with John Jones not being able to do it and stepping away. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what Tom's plan is going to be, because I think on the feet, they're pretty evenly matched. I think it could be fun on the feet, but I think there's definitely a huge advantage for Aspinall when it comes to the wrestling and the grappling. And I think he'd be silly to not at least attempt to make it a bit of a grappling match and try to get the ground and pound, take him down. And we'll see. If he can defend takedowns, it could be a lot of fun. But if not, I think Tom can make some quick work. But there's a lot of pressure on Tom, man. We were talking about it on the pre-show this weekend that, you didn't get the Jones fight. You waited all this time, and now you've got to fight somebody else. And it's always tough because you want to win that one to really prove to everybody that, yeah, you are that guy. You are the great. You are the best. You're the reason John didn't want to take this fight, blah, blah, blah. If you go and lose that one, you just...
Yeah. Well, we haven't had guests on for a little bit because I've just been all over the place and very, very busy and all the rest of it. So I'll reach out to Tom and see if we can get him on next week, and we'll start getting some guests on again. Tom isn't the type of guy that talks shit.
Michael Bisping, before Tom Aspinall fought Sergey Pavlovich, he said he gonna beat John Jones. He moved like Muhammad Ali. I said, Mike, this has to be a gimmick. He goes, Daniel, this fight is gonna last 2 minutes between him and Sergey. I said, bro, Sergey's knocked out 8 dudes in a row. Tom goes and knocks him out. Tom leaves to the back. Bisping's with him like he's part of the camp.
Coach fired back recently.
Gane's coach quickly fired back, calling Aspinall a liar and sparking even more drama. Still, to many fans, this bout feels like filler, just something to pass time until a truly massive fight finally appears on the horizon.
Here comes along.
There's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself. Anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Talk's just talk to me, right? It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to change anything, to be honest.
And then I had his head coach, Fernand Lopez, on the program. And, it was all going kind of well. And then it started to get a little spicy on his part, where he said that your talk has been annoying, that you've been whining, that it's not true, that you guys weren't in talks to fight 3-4 times in the past. Did you see any of these comments, and did you have any sort of response to them?
Well, somebody told me about them. I didn't see them. I'm trying to. I try and stay off social media when I've got a fight coming up. So yeah. I'm not like reading through all the time. My response to them is, with all due respect, I respect coaches so much, especially really high level coaches. But with all due respect, like, his opinion is quite irrelevant to the situation. Like, I'm just telling the facts from what I know and my point of view. I'm not trying to get under anyone's skin or anything like that. Like, that's the reality that I lived. But
irrelevant to what happened or didn't happen. Like, that's in the past, and we're fighting each other now. We're fighting each other in October, so irrelevant to what anybody says, who's annoyed and who isn't annoyed, and whose feelings are hurt and whose feelings aren't hurt. We're going to fight each other and settle it regardless, so it's pretty irrelevant with all due respect.
One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I don't know if he was trying to play mind games, but he said there's never been more pressure on anyone than the pressure that will be on you come October 25th because of all the talk over the past year of you being the real champ and John Jones ducking and all that. You have to sort of validate all of this with a dominant win. What do you make of that statement?
That's great, because I fight really, really, really well under pressure. You know, there's a couple of types of guys. I've been around martial arts for my whole life, near enough at this point. And, you know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters. And they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself who are not that good in the gym, but get under the lights, get under the pressure with all the chips on the table, and they get in there and do things that they would never be able to do in the gym. And that is exactly what I do. And I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths. So anytime there's pressure on me.
So what happens if Aspinall wins? His stock as the future of the division grows, but the problem remains. Who's left to fight? A recycled match with Pavlovich? Another clash with Curtis Blades? None of those feel like blockbuster main events. But what if Gane actually pulls off the upset? Suddenly, the division looks even messier.
Fantastic striker. I mean, he's one of the most beautiful strikers in the heavyweight division. He does wild stuff. You ever see how he throws that front kick from a side stance? And he throws it like a twisting kick. He stands like southpaw, right? And he bobs around like this, and he's totally sideways, and he twists his foot out like a twisting kick. He did a lot of them against Tai Tuivasa. He's so fast, man. He just does this weird thing where he stands sideways, and instead of the front kick going like this, like straight out, the front kick goes like this. So
I know. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So his knee when he lands is almost like sideways. He's just so unusual for a heavyweight, that kind of movement. But he'll show it totally sideways.
It's a little trick.
Almost like a crescent kick or something like that.
Did you see the Derek Lewis-Cyril Gane fight? Cyril Gane beat the shit out of him. Cyril Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170 pounder. He's bouncing like Wonderboy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
Cyril Gane has a wrestling problem. Imavov uses a jab to blind Gane's vision, immediately changing levels and shooting a clean double leg, wrapping the knees to take him down. He rides Gane's back, sagging his weight and returning him to the mat every time he tries to stand, as Gane attempts to break the grip by pushing down on the hands and running laterally to create space. Imavov trips out the far leg, regaining dominant top position. When Gane tries to scramble up again, he's caught in a tight guillotine. Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When we talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, with Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just shit, but like, I'm so good that the heavyweight division is shit, right? This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world. And if he goes out there and loses to Gane, you know, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, you know, the potential John Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like, if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like just waiting for Tom to fuck up and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit. Or, you know what I mean? John can't wait for that moment.
Cyril Gane has a wrestling problem. Imavov uses a jab to blind Gane's vision, immediately changing levels and shooting a clean double leg, wrapping the knees to take him down. He rides Gane's back, sagging his weight and returning him to the mat every time he tries to stand. As Gane attempts to break the grip by pushing down on the hands and running laterally to create space, Imavov trips out the far leg, regaining dominant top position. When Gane tries to scramble up again, he's caught in a tight guillotine. Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
Critics argue that the heavyweight title has lost credibility since John Jones and Francis Ngannou left. Fans call this the dullest era because the UFC is choosing safe matchmaking over fan demand. Dana White has openly said he doesn't trust John Jones to headline big cards, and Ngannou is busy chasing big paydays in boxing.
And now
John Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. You know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong. Yeah, especially the White House card.
What do you think John would do in the next couple of months that would make me trust putting him on the White House card?
Well, I would not trust him, but I would like to see him fight Aspinall on that card down the road.
So I already said that I don't trust him, and you're asking me what could he do for me to trust him in the next 3 months. You don't trust him.
Well, yes, but you talk to him. I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't talk to him either. I haven't talked to him at all. It's 1,000,000,000 to 1 that I put John Jones on the White House card.
All right, I think that ends the questions on it.
Right now, guys, we don't have an American in the top 10 pound for pound. We don't have an American in the top 10 pound for pound. We don't have an American champion outside of Kayla Harris now that John Jones retired. So who do we send out there on July 4th to get a victory? I say send John Jones. He's going to win. That's what he's done his whole career. If it's going to be somebody that we have to trust to win for the country, you send that dude.
I was retired. I felt like I've done it all in the MMA space. There wasn't too many more challenges for me. I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House. That just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, so I'm back.
Hey, so they've announced this White House UFC fight. What do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
Yeah, I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that part.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. I feel like the only thing to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
You're talking about a White House fight card? Hey, man, we got to have some Americans win. I don't like John Jones. There's no secret. The whole world knows it. I say, man, y'all better put John Jones on there. Because right now, we ain't got one American in the top 10 pound for pound. I say, if y'all want an American dude to go get a victory, put John Jones in there. Because he gonna win. That's what he does.
Yeah, we just can't have foreigners coming in and winning all the fights at the White House.
Hey, I'm calling him Captain America.
That leaves Aspinall stuck with opponents who don't inspire excitement. Some fans believe the UFC needs fresh blood. Fighters like Magomed Ankalaev potentially moving up, or Jailton Almeida breaking through to restore energy. Right now, Aspinall's reign feels like it's missing the one thing every champion needs: a legendary rivalry.
The sport.
It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Wigan, the one and only Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Na. Tommy Aspinall. Tommy. Defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time, against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Cyril Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years. Well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home. And so they oblige. And you'll recall a few weeks ago, I said, it's looking like Magomed and Alex, October 4th. It's looking like Tom versus Cyril, October 25th. And it's looking like JDM versus Islam in New York. That would be the next pay-per-view. Now, that hasn't been officially announced. That hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered. But at this point, I would be surprised, considering how the chips just fell earlier today. I would be surprised if it doesn't play out that way.
Do you think they're going to do Gane and Aspinall next? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I heard they're doing I don't know if I heard this from you or my homie Archie, that they're doing a card in France in August.
That is happening. I think the card in
but that would be weird if I'm Tom. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to France to defend my belt. But maybe he does, because Tom seems like he just wants to fight. So I get that.
Yeah. Well, it's also shorter for Tom too, right? If he is fighting in Paris, right, as opposed to him fighting in the States. So maybe there's some incentive there. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I agree with you. He should be fighting in the U.
What happened to the good old day when the biggest star in the sport could go out there and underperform a little bit, and the judges would give a screw job to the less popular guy? I could tell you plenty of times throughout history where Alex Pierre would still be wearing that belt, which is to beat the champion. You really got to beat the champion. Screwed the other guy to protect the champion. That's all that's ever meant. I'm not sure that the Alex Pierre that I saw isn't the greatest Alex Pierre I've ever seen. Alex is supposed to be somebody that you can go take down and beat up, particularly if you got a wrestling background, particularly if you got a wrestling background from Dagestan. That's the story. He never went down once. Is Uncle Live a man of his word? Does he get credit? Because his words were that I'm going to stand up and I'm going to kickbox with him. I'm going to beat him in the stand-up. That's exactly what he did. I, as a Pierre fan, what I want is Pierre at heavyweight. And if in a month from now we come out with a poster and it's Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pierre, I think you guys are pretty excited. That's my guess.
It's not a conversation. Tom should be able to take him down if he chooses to. So if Cyril Gane isn't training in Dagestan for 2-3 months, years, days, weeks,
or Arkansas,
brother.
Yeah, he's just go down there with Brass.
Get up there with Brass. If he's not just solely working on his grappling, then he's a fool. Yeah. And by the way, Tom's probably got bigger power. Tom might just knock him out on his feet as well. And I'm not saying that Cyril can't be a force and Cyril can't compete and Cyril can't surprise us all, because he can. And Tom knows that. That's why he'll train accordingly. But the grappling is a big question mark.
Big question mark. And I think if we're talking about their styles too, I think the one thing that you can give Cyril, other than maybe his unorthodox movement, the way he switches stances quite a bit, he kicks more. He uses a bit more tools, where Tom can kick. He can do it all, no doubt about it. He can knee and all of that. But I think that primarily the hand.
So here's the big question. Can Tom Aspinall bring life back to the heavyweight division? Or will the UFC continue down this road of safe fights and politics, slowly killing the magic of what was once the sport's most exciting weight class?